Ever paused while holding a warm, freshly baked loaf of bread and wondered how it got from tiny grains of flour to that soft, golden masterpiece in your hands? The answer lies in the fascinating, fast-paced world of industrial bread factories. Modern bread production is more than just mixing ingredients and baking. It's a highly coordinated, automated process where science, engineering, and culinary art combine to create thousands of consistent loaves every hour. Let's take a full behind-the-scenes tour of a bread factory, step by step, from raw materials to the final packaged product. Raw ingredients, the foundation of bread. Every loaf of bread begins with raw materials, and quality at this stage is critical. The basic ingredients are flour, water, yeast, and salt. Depending on the type of bread, sugar, fats, milk, or additional ingredients like seeds, grains, and preservatives might also be added. Flour, often sourced from wheat, is stored in massive silos within the factory. These silos can hold hundreds of tons of flour and are designed to keep it dry and free from contamination. Water and liquids such as milk, oil, or fats are stored in large tanks and are filtered to maintain consistency and hygiene. Yeast, the magic ingredient that makes bread rise, is stored in refrigerated tanks in a liquid or compressed form, depending on the factory's setup. Before any mixing begins, factory operators ensure that each ingredient meets strict quality standards. Flour is checked for moisture content and protein level, which affects gluten development, while yeast is tested for activity. Every gram counts because even slight variations can impact the final bread's texture, taste, and shelf life. Batching and mixing, bringing ingredients together. Once the ingredients pass quality checks, they are weighed and prepared for mixing. In large-scale production, batching is automated using computer-controlled systems. These systems measure precise quantities of flour, water, yeast, salt, and any additional ingredients, ensuring every batch is identical. Consistency is key because industrial bakeries produce thousands of loaves per day, and variation is not an option. The ingredients are then transferred to industrial mixers. Unlike the small mixers in a home kitchen, these machines are massive, sometimes holding hundreds of kilograms of dough at once. Powerful rotating arms knead the ingredients thoroughly, developing gluten, which gives bread its structure, elasticity, and ability to hold gas. Depending on the type of bread, the mixing process can take anywhere from a few minutes to nearly half an hour. At this stage, some bakeries may add additional flavor enhancers, preservatives, or dough conditioners. These help improve shelf life, color, texture, and even the uniformity of the loaf. Bulk fermentation, letting the dough rise. After mixing, the dough enters bulk fermentation, also called the first proofing stage. The dough is stored in large containers or troughs where temperature and humidity are carefully controlled. During this time, yeast ferments the sugars present in the dough, producing carbon dioxide gas. These gas bubbles expand the dough, making it rise and giving it a light, airy texture. The bulk fermentation process also develops flavor. Longer fermentation allows yeast and enzymes to work on the dough, breaking down starches into simpler sugars, which results in more complex flavors and a better crumb structure. Depending on the bread type, this stage can last anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours. Dividing, equal portions for consistency. Once bulk fermentation is complete, the dough is ready for dividing. Large masses of dough are fed into dividing machines, which cut the dough into equal-sized portions. Precision is crucial here because uniform dough pieces ensure consistent loaf sizes and baking times. In some factories, this can mean dividing thousands of dough pieces per hour, all identical in weight and shape. After dividing, the dough pieces move along conveyor belts to the rounding stage. Rounding, preparing for shaping. Rounding is the process of rolling each dough piece into a smooth ball. This step helps create a uniform structure and ensures that the dough is evenly tensioned. Tension is important because it allows the dough to rise evenly during proofing and baking without tearing. After rounding, the dough pieces often undergo a short intermediate rest period, sometimes called intermediate proofing. This allows the gluten network to relax, making it easier to shape the dough into loaves or rolls without causing damage to the structure. Shaping, from dough to loaf. Shaping is where the dough begins to take the form of the bread we recognize. Depending on the final product, loaf, roll, baguette, or bun, the dough may be rolled, folded, or pressed into the desired shape. For standard sandwich bread, the dough is flattened and rolled into cylinders that fit perfectly into baking tins. This stage is critical for achieving consistent texture and structure. Automated machines handle shaping with high precision, ensuring uniformity in every batch. The shaped dough is then moved to the final proofing stage. Final proofing, the last rise. Final proofing, sometimes called second proofing, is one of the most important stages in bread production. The shaped dough pieces are placed in a proofing chamber, also known as a proofer, where temperature and humidity are carefully controlled. In this warm, humid environment, yeast activity resumes, and the dough rises a final time. This stage ensures the bread develops a light, airy crumb and reaches the correct size before baking. Proofing times vary depending on bread type, but are usually between 30 minutes and an hour. Skilled bakeries monitor this stage carefully to avoid under or overproofing, which can affect texture and shelf life. Baking, transforming dough into bread. Once proofed, the dough moves into the baking stage. Industrial ovens are massive, often several meters long, and can operate continuously. Conveyor belts carry the dough through the oven at precisely controlled speeds. The temperature inside the oven is carefully calibrated to ensure even baking. During baking, several things happen. The dough expands further, oven spring, the crust forms and browns, and the internal structure sets. Heat causes starches to gelatinize and proteins to coagulate, giving bread its final texture and strength. Baking times vary depending on loaf size and oven type, but they typically range from 15 to 30 minutes. Cooling. Preparing for packaging. After baking, the bread is hot and still contains steam. Directly packaging it at this stage could lead to condensation, spoilage, or mold growth. To prevent this, the bread is cooled on long conveyor belts in controlled conditions. Cooling also ensures that the bread retains its shape and texture. During cooling, some bakeries may apply glazing or sprays, such as water or edible oils, to improve appearance or shelf life. Slicing and packaging, ready for consumers. Once cooled, the bread is ready for slicing, although some artisanal or specialty loaves skip this step. High-speed slicing machines cut loaves into uniform slices within seconds. The thickness of slices is adjustable depending on the product. Next comes packaging. Automated machines place the bread into plastic bags and seal them tightly. Labels are applied, providing information on ingredients, nutritional content, and expiration dates. Packaging is designed to protect the bread from moisture and contamination while allowing it to remain fresh for longer. Quality control, ensuring perfection. Quality control is woven into every stage of bread production. Cameras, sensors, and manual inspections check for size, color, shape, and texture. Random samples are tasted and tested to ensure consistency in flavor and crumb. Any bread that does not meet standards is removed from the line. Distribution, from factory to store. Finally, the packaged bread is collected and prepared for distribution. Trucks and vans deliver it to supermarkets, convenience stores, and other outlets. Because bread has a relatively short shelf life, logistics are carefully coordinated to ensure it reaches consumers while still fresh. Automation and hygiene in modern bread factories. One of the most impressive features of modern bread factories is the level of automation. From ingredient handling to slicing and packaging, machines handle most of the process. This allows factories to produce thousands of loaves per hour with incredible consistency. Hygiene is a top priority. All equipment is regularly cleaned, workers follow strict protocols, and the environment is carefully monitored. This ensures the bread remains safe and free from contamination. Flexibility and variety. Modern factories are remarkably flexible. By adjusting ingredients, mixing times, shaping methods, and baking conditions, the same production line can produce a wide variety of breads: white, whole wheat, multigrain, buns, rolls, and more. This flexibility allows bakeries to meet changing consumer preferences efficiently. The science behind the art bread making might seem simple, but industrial scale production is a blend of science and art. Yeast fermentation, gluten development, proofing, and baking are all carefully monitored and controlled to produce bread with perfect taste, texture, and shelf life. Each step builds on the previous one, turning raw ingredients into a product that is both delicious and visually appealing. Conclusion. The next time you hold a soft, golden loaf in your hands, remember the incredible journey it took. From carefully measured ingredients, through mixing, fermentation, shaping, proofing, baking, cooling, slicing, and packaging, bread production is a marvel of modern engineering and food science. Thousands of loaves move through factory lines every hour, but each one carries the result of precise, coordinated processes designed to deliver perfection in every bite. If you enjoyed this detailed tour inside a bread factory, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us which food production process you want to explore next. Who knew that something as ordinary as bread could have such an extraordinary story behind it?